Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm doing my first impressions video and it's a foundation review. Today I'm testing the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Cushion Foundation, which is new in the drugstore. And I picked up the shade W5.5 just because I have a warm skin tone and this seemed like there would be enough yellow in it to match my skin tone. So this foundation was released last month, so December 2015, and there's 12 shades that they've come out with depending on your undertone. There's 4 shades each for people with cool undertone, warm undertone, and neutral undertone. But to start off with the foundation, I think it's a pretty decent range, 12 shades. So if you're fortunate enough to fall in any of those skin tones, then you may want to check it out. As far as the finish, it's supposed to give a fresh and luminous glow, which is not quite what I want because I have super oily skin. So we'll see how this fares on my skin. It's also supposed to be formulated with some precise match technology. So it's supposed to match your skin tone and also deal with the texture in your skin. So we'll see how far it stands true to its claims. As far as coverage is concerned, it's supposed to have sheer to medium coverage. So we'll see, again, with my acne prone skin, we'll see how much of this is covered with this foundation. And finally, I think it's supposed to be okay with most skin types, including sensitive skin. So since I have oily combination skin, we'll see how it fits with my skin type. So if you have dry skin or normal skin, do leave me in the comment section below if you've tried this foundation and what you think of it. I'll first talk about the packaging. It comes in this little container with the logo, and you can see your shade right there. And on the back it has some, let me hold it right, there you go. So it has some information on how you can apply it. Basically there's a sponge inside and you just tap into the cushion, which is saturated with the foundation, and then you tap it on your skin and you can layer it up to add more coverage. So you just open that. There's a big mirror inside. I don't want to blind you, but you do have a mirror, which is great because you can carry the foundation on the go and do touch-ups, which is not something I do personally, but for somebody who's looking for that, it's a great product, I think. And inside you have this sponge-like applicator. So this is what you deal with. So this is where the sponge rests. And then once you open that, you have a paper that you peel off. But before I start, I'm just going to prime my skin just as I always do with any foundation. I'm going in with the mattifying primer. So currently I have nothing on my skin. So today I'm using my Becca Evermatte Poreless Priming Perfector. Yeah. So I've taken a small amount on my brush. And I'm going to just dab it on my oily T-zone. So for me, that's my nose, sides of my nose here, lining it right here, and then some on my chin, whatever's left over. Just taking whatever's left over on my cheeks. So I'm just going to let the primer set on the skin for a couple of minutes. The foundation retails for $16.99, so $17, which is quite expensive, I think, for a drugstore foundation. And it only contains 0.5 ounces, wherein your typical foundation would contain 1 fluid ounce. So this is about half the amount. So do keep that in mind. Fortunately, I had a $4 off coupon from CVS, so I got it for about $13. Alright, let's begin with the demonstration. I'm just going to take the thing and then press it against the cushion. Sorry, I don't know if I first showed you the cushion inside. It's saturated with the product, the foundation. So I've got a small amount with one tap, so I'm gonna see how much this covers. So we'll start with the right side of my face. It feels quite moist. Seems like an okay color for me. quite an interesting feel to apply foundation with a sponge. So that's one layer of foundation. Looks like it's slightly light for me, so you can see it doesn't really match my skin tone at this point. I mean, it is yellow, but it's not yellow enough, so we'll have to use a bit of bronzer after I'm done with the foundation. But otherwise, I think one tap at least gives you, I would say, medium-ish coverage. I think amongst the warm shades, there are 4, and I think there's one darker than this, which is WA, but I think that would be too dark for me. So I don't think this particular range has a shade that matches my skin tone precisely. I think it's given a medium coverage so far. I'm going to try and apply a second layer on my problem areas, which is the cheek. It sure does have a luminous finish. And I think because the shade is not right for me, it kind of looks ghostly, almost. So I'm clearly not going out today with this look. I think it's fairly easy to get around all over the face with this applicator. So this is what 1 layer all over and 2 layers on the problem areas look on my skin. So one thing I don't like about the packaging is, 1, the sponge gets dirty and you have to put it back into this space. So this area eventually will get dirty, which I don't like. Secondly, I don't know if it's hygienic. I don't think it is hygienic to constantly use the same sponge. And I don't know if you can wash it. So that's another thing to worry about. So I think so far the foundation on its own looks quite good, dewy definitely, but not shimmery, if you know what I mean. It has a nice skin-like finish, I think. I just wish the shade matched me better. Let's see if we can bronze this up and make it look better. So here I'm going to insert some pictures both with and without flash, and also how the foundation looks in natural sunlight. So as you can see, the foundation looks quite okay in this indoor lighting, but with flash it looks horrible. Looks like a white ghost, and also in natural daylight I think it looks a bit off just because it's not my right skin tone, but it does suffer from flashback. So I'll do the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. Here I am back with the rest of my makeup on. So I think after applying all the rest of the bronzer, contouring, blush, all of that, I think the shade looks okay for my skin tone. So if you're anything between NC 40 and 42 in MAC foundations, then I think the W5.5 may work for you. So this is what the foundation looks like upon application with the rest of my makeup. Right now it's about 12 in the afternoon, so I'll check back in say about 2 or 4 hours and we'll see how well the foundation is holding up. Sorry, but I forgot to turn on the microphone, and therefore this portion of the video does not contain any audio. So I'm doing a voiceover. So basically all I'm trying to say is at 4 hours post application, I do see some oil coming through, especially in my T-zone. So my nose, center of the forehead, sides of my nose, and my chin. So here I'm just going to blot at this stage and then not apply any more powder, and then see how well the foundation stays at the end of the day. So alright guys, this is my last check-in. So it's been 5 hours since my last check-in. So total of 9 hours. And again I have some oil around my T-zone, so there, here. So I'm just going to again blot it off like my 4-hour check-in. And this is quite usual for me, it's not that this particular foundation has made me oily. This is the case no matter what. Despite all the oil control primers I use, still has to break through. But it is much worse without any primer, so this is still definitely better than without primer. The foundation is still pretty much on. Yeah, pretty much in place. Concealer, blush, bronzer, contour. So overall, I think the foundation is a good one. It's definitely the first cushion foundation that I've tried, so I have nothing to compare it with. But I think it's a good one from the drugstore. So I think the claim that it suits more skin types is actually correct. So I think this foundation would suit anybody with normal, dry, combination, or oily skin tones, as long as, not skin tones, skin types, as long as you use the right primer with it. Now the thing I forgot to mention is that the foundation, even 9 hours after wear, still looks like it didn't settle into my fine lines, nor did it exaggerate the pores on my skin. So I would actually give a thumbs up to this foundation for this, because many high-end foundations actually settle into my fine lines, especially in this area. So this foundation did not do that. Overall, I would recommend this foundation for an everyday wear purpose, not for special occasions, just because of the flashback that you see. And it is surprising because this foundation, at least to what I understand, does not have SPF. So if you're planning to wear this foundation on a daily basis, I would highly recommend wearing some SPF underneath. So overall, I am impressed with this foundation. On a later date, maybe tomorrow or day after, I think I will test dipping a brush directly into the cushion and see if that works for me. So that's it for the review. Let me know what you think if you've tried out this foundation. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you liked my first impressions. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.